Hi, I'm Bruce Blythe. Please excuse me, but I have a question. You know, those 4 words, I have a question, will universally get people's attention with amazing regularity. It raises curiosity. It suggests that you are interested in what they have to say. But what does that have to do with managing hostile people and potentially violent people in the workplace? I'm going to share with you a 3-step approach, a take-and-use method that will help you diffuse threatening and hostile people wherever you may run into them. So someone makes a threat of violence toward you in the workplace. What do you want your company to do? Well, most corporate responses to threat of violence include 3 considerations. Obtaining additional security, like guards, police presence maybe, possibly cameras. Secondly, the question comes up, is arrest possible? Usually there's insufficient evidence, and even if arrested, the threatening individual will more likely than not remain on the streets. And a third common management response is to explore the possibility of injunctive relief, like a temporary restraining order or criminal trespass warning. Unfortunately, none of these actions do anything to help resolve the threatening person's dispute with you or with the company. So the question is, what's a dispute? And what can you do to diffuse that dispute? Well, threatening people almost always feel unfairly treated. And even though they tend to do most of the talking, they usually don't feel adequately heard and understood. Now that's where what I call the I have a question technique comes into play. 3 easy steps to diffusing hostile and threatening people. It starts by simply asking, I have a question. Then get them to focus on the solution instead of the problem by asking, so I can better understand what exactly do you want or need in order to get this situation resolved. That's step 1. Step 2, expect that the individual is going to demand things that you can't or won't give them, such as his or her job back or their supervisor fired. So in step 2, you simply repeat back their needs or concerns to help them feel heard and understood. So you want your job back, you want your supervisor fired, and you want $100,000 from the company for emotional distress. Is that correct? Once agreed upon, it's best to write these things down in front of the person so he or she knows you've got it. And now the final step. Rather than arguing or telling the person what he or she can't have, defer the decision. Let me talk it over with management on your behalf and see what we can come up with. Can I get back to you at 2 o'clock on Tuesday? Make sure you set a specific time to get back with the threatening individual and make sure you keep the appointment. This allows several diffusing opportunities. First, the individual feels heard and understood, and that alone typically serves to diffuse the individual, at least partially. Secondly, you become the person's advocate and actually become aligned with him or her. And third, it gives you and management time to come up with a well-thought-out solution or compromise to the situation. In the spirit of win-win, it's surprising what you may be able to come up with and negotiate. So in summary, I have a question. What do you want or need to get this resolved? Repeat back what you heard, defer the decision, and set a specific time to talk again. Try it today in a non-hostile situation. The I have a question technique is field tested and it works like a charm.